And welcome to Darkhorsestocks strategy update. This session is going to be in two languages, Hindi and English. This one is in English, and for those who want to listen to this one in Hindi, please wait for some time. We'll upload a separate session covering all the aspects in English and Hindi separately. So without wasting any time, we'll just start away with the presentation and we'll try to keep it as small as possible. However, we request all the users to please thoroughly watch the entire session. Do not skip any parts because it is extremely important if you want to stick with Darkhorsestocks, and if you are a small investor or any kind of investor, and if you want to earn more money in the market, this session is specifically for you. So please keep a few things in mind. So first of all, we'd like to clarify that we are not SEBI registered and we don't provide any kinds of tips, advices, or any kind of trading services. We don't provide any calls or anything for short term or anything. Our job is simply to provide you with the data, amazing companies, and going forward we are also going to provide some companies which we feel are very overvalued, and we want you to watch those companies, that how those companies perform over a period of time. So please just don't go and check the name and buy the company. Please don't do that. Our goal is to read the entire report, because some companies might be for sale and you might end up buying the company, because we have projected that the valuations are very costly and we want you to check from your end, and instead you end up buying those companies. So please don't blame Darkhorsestocks. Our job is only to present you the information about the company. It's your job to take the decision about the company. Now, moving ahead, we are going to cover following things in this session. The first one will be the strategy update, and the second one will be the portfolio updates. So like, we get a lot of questions from the people like, is it very good idea to have more than 10 to 12 ideas or 12 companies in a portfolio? And if it is not a good idea, how should we manage to optimize the portfolio? So we are going to talk specifically on this aspect. Now, past investment and live portfolio, we are going to share you the snapshots, the screenshots from one of our analyst portfolio. It's a single client, and we want you to see that how a small person, like anyone who can start with as small as just 5,000 rupees in this market and can earn very decent returns. Okay, so it is very important. We are not trying to show off what is the portfolio update or what are the companies that have given good returns. We want you to present a live example, a realistic example, so you can try to analyze companies from your end. Now, we're also going to emphasize on the government's role. A lot of people have myths and like a lot of questions we are getting these days due to the election, and what should be the time frame of the investment. And the most important question that we often get is what should be the exit strategy, when to sell the stock. So this is the very important thing. Most of the people don't understand this, and so these are the following things we are going to cover in the entire session. Now, first thing is what strategy we use for Darkhorsestocks. So we'll just come to that one in a brief, but let's explore some other things before we actually tell you what is the strategy that we are going to show you. Now, a lot of people first of all misunderstand that government is a driving force for the market. Government is not a driving force for the market. Government is just a catalyst for the market. People often do not understand that government is not a chemical to the reaction. It is a catalyst. It fuels the reaction. So what happens is that if there is a corporate earnings growth, if there is an economic growth, the stock market is going to perform. Now, what is the role of the government is that government speeds up the process, sometimes by showing various schemes or trying to push the economy or trying to increase the spending or capex or various measures. Government is not a chemical for the reaction. Government is just a catalyst. So people are often worried, like, what if this party comes to the government or this party comes to the ruling party, the market will crash, or if Narendra Modi is not elected as the next prime minister, the market might crash. Market has nothing to do with whichever party or whichever prime minister comes to the power. Market has nothing to do that. Good companies are trying, or always good companies will always try to find new ways to increase their revenue, profitability, which will be like corporate earnings growth rate, and economy as an overall will try to always move upwards if proper measures are taken by the government, which in turn will fuel the stock market performance. So please keep in mind that government is just a catalyst to the reaction. It is not a main chemical to the reaction. So please don't be afraid. Like, if you are investing for a time frame of 2 to 3 years, or I would say like maximum 5 to 6 years, sometimes there might be chances or regimes that you might see the half of the investment in the first government and second half in the second government, which again has nothing to do with the market. So people are often very how would I say, blindsided by which government, and there is euphoria in the market that if Narendra Modi does not come to power, the market might crash. It may happen, it may not happen. But as a long-term investor, we should strictly focus on corporate earnings growth rate and economic growth rate. Sometimes even when the economy might not perform, what will happen is that companies might try to find ways to increase their revenue. So what will happen is, again, even if the market is not performing, some companies may still perform well. And we'll show you a lot of examples that how the market is performing in the past 2 or 3 years and how has the companies performed. So please, once again, just to clarify that the government is a catalyst to the reaction, it's not the main chemical. Now, moving ahead. So a lot of people keep asking questions is like, what should we do in the company is down like 5%, 10%? First of all, you don't check your portfolio every day. You should not check your portfolio every day. Do you have a plant in your home and do you go and check your plant 3 times a day that how the plant has grown? Or let's say if you have planted a mango tree, do you check the plant like 10 times a day that if it has grown or if it has not grown? The market investments are just like that. You don't check these things every day. Once a day is good, but to be honest, we don't even advise you to check it for at least like 2 weeks or 3 weeks once. Maybe you should touch some companies only after 6 months or 12 months. People just get panicked that, hey, this company is down 5%, what should we do? This company is down 10%. This market is not for short term. If you are a short term investor, we would definitely recommend you to please get out of the market. The market is not for short term. You need to have a minimum time frame of at least 2 to 3 years. And the market right now is at a peak. So if you are investing at this point of the market, you need to have a time frame horizon of at least 4 to 5 years. Okay, so if you are just like someone who is checking your portfolio 10 times a day, and if the stock is like 5% down, 10% down, and you get panicked, you should definitely get out of the market right away and you should just invest in fixed deposits. Like recently, we got a message from some person, we don't remember the name, and person question is like, we suggested HP adhesive. We wrote about this company, HP ADHESIVES, HP adhesives. I don't remember the exact pricing. It was somewhere around 106 or 110 or something like that. And the market fell and the price fell to somewhat around like 595 rupees. And the guy is asking, what is your view on this company? To be honest, we are like really irritated when people send us queries like this. First of all, it's not a recommendation that what is going to be in short term. We are presenting our view that this company has a very good potential. It has a very good product. So you should check the company on your end. Now you are asking us that what is the outlook for this company? It's not even 2 months since we have presented this company and you are asking what is the long-term view. To be honest, we don't visit the company not at least after 1.5 years, 1 to 1.5 years. Okay. We don't check quarterly results because quarterly results can always be misguided. We only focus on the annual results. Sometimes we focus on quarterly results. And the company that, for example, if you are checking adhesives company, it takes at least 2 to 3 years for the company to present you with any meaningful gains in the results of the company in terms of sales or profitability or anything. So please, once again, keep in mind that do not check your portfolio every day. If you are buying some company, just buy it and forget it. These online brokerages these days have given the people access to check their portfolios every day, which is a bad habit because when you check short-term gains or like you feel the prompt is down, it fluctuates your mood and a lot of different things. So please try to stop checking your portfolio every now and then. This is a very key important point we want you to emphasize. Now, moving ahead, how many stocks you should have in a portfolio? People often tell us that Warren Buffett or the big investors, they follow this concentrated portfolio strategy of having at least like 10 to 20 companies in the portfolio and no more than 20 companies in the portfolio. Our philosophy is that we don't believe in that philosophy completely. We don't believe in at all. Okay. They have a team of analysts. They have a team of research people who are working as an analyst. They have a team of researchers. They have very huge context. So they can narrow it down in particular to a specific company, and even they can go wrong. They have been wrong in so many times. If you check the investment of Warren Buffett in Paytm, it was drastic. So my point is that we are small investors in the sense that we don't have an exposure or we don't have a portfolio of more than 3 crores, 5 crores. Like even if you have bigger portfolio, it's still not that big in size that you need to have a concentrated portfolio. So what actually is our philosophy is that when you check our performance or check our ideas that companies we have invested, you will get an idea that you are not someone so expert or so much into the research that you can focus on just 10 to 20 companies and your portfolio will perform well. So we are investing in the market for a very long term for a wealth creation. So to be honest, like number of companies should not matter at all. Please keep this in mind, or this is our philosophy. So if you have your own strategy, you can use maximum number of companies. If you want, you can use just 10 companies in your portfolio. That is completely your strategy. Whichever maximizes returns for you, you should go with that. We are just trying to explain what we are thinking, what is our strategy, and how we as an individual are earning money in the market. So that's all. We don't want to argue that whether this strategy is wrong or this strategy is right. We as a small investor personally feel that what we are doing is right. So that's all. Now, there is no thumb rule that you need to have just 10 or 20 companies in a portfolio. Like even if you check big funds, the Nippon India small cap fund, okay, Nippon India, if you check this fund, they have like large number of companies, at least 60 plus companies in that portfolio. And just to be a disclaimer, we do have an SIP in this fund, and we have also presented the same in the Darkhorsestocks groups. So the point is that it's not like how many companies you have in your portfolio. It's how patient you are and how much you are willing to wait for the companies to grow. Before we tell you the exact strategy or anything, just check the screenshots. These are the live screenshots from one of our analysts' portfolio. You just check the amount invested and you check the amount of returns that are generated. And then you will get the idea that how much patience you need to generate such kind of returns. And all of these companies have been specifically presented in Darkhorsestocks, and you can check by going to the exact date in our Telegram group where you can find all the companies list. Okay, so now, first of all, Grasim Industries, we are extremely bullish on this company. It is my personal favorite as well as all of our analysts' personal favorite. And you can check that Grasim, that this is one of our analysts, and the person has invested. The person is doing SIP in the Grasim, and slowly and steadily has started investing from around like 1400 rupees, and right now it is around 2300. And as you can see, that returns generated, it's just nominal 34% returns, but you can check that it is a decent return in 1.5 year of time. Same goes for White Paper Fabrics. In Darkhorsestocks, this company was presented around 1000 rupees and it has almost doubled. You can check Tata Chemicals, and this is the wealth creation. Now you can just focus on this company. Tata Industries was actually presented in Darkhorsestocks when it was around 750 to 800 rupees. Okay, and this person has invested 20 shares, like he's invested 14,000 rupees. Okay, the prices are different because we are saying that the person has booked a profit from one account and shifted to another. So if you check that 16,000 worth of investment, 16,000 rupees of investments, okay, has turned into the current price, which is like almost 7,500, which is like 150,000 rupees. Now, can you see the power of this stock? This company was presented around 2018 or 19. So it's almost 4 to 5 years since this company was presented. And we are not saying that all of these companies will turn multi-baggers. There might be failures. 15 to 20% of the companies might fail. But the key point, if you are trying to see here, is that just invest a small amount. The small amount is just 16,000 rupees invested in this company has delivered almost 10x returns. If you check this company, Ingersoll Rand, okay, this company was also presented almost like in 2018 or 19. And if you can see, 6,783 rupees invested has turned into 42,000, which is like almost 7x returns. You are still not able to believe this? There is another more company. Sanofi has not grown much, but it has given very good dividends. It has delivered very good dividends. It gives dividends around 150 to 350 rupees every year. So if you are checking the returns, it might be small. Even one share of 3M India, like if you check just one share of 3M India, it is delivering at least 53% returns in 2 years, which is like 25% return each year. Bank of Baroda, this is a large cap company, and specifically we had presented this company in Darkhorsestocks when it was trading around 89 to 90 rupees, and right now it is 260 rupees. It's almost 3 years. Okay, so there is another company, Bajaj Holdings. This is one of the oldest companies we are presenting in Darkhorsestocks since 2500, also presented around 5000 and last around 5500. So if you can check that this company is currently trading at 8,000 rupees. Shalibhadra Finance, just check the amount invested. It's 7,000 rupees has turned into 24,000. That is like 4x returns. Same goes for Lakshmi Machine. Like we have started presenting this company around 6,000 to 7,000 rupees. And right now it is around 16,000 rupees. Okay. And there was one more company. We forgot to add it. Yeah. So it was probably Wend. A lot of people don't know this company, but Wend actually was presented around 3,000 rupees. And right now it is around 17,000 rupees, 16,000 or 17,000 rupees. So the whole point of this thing is that we are not trying to glorify the returns. The important point we are trying to make is that if you start investing small amount of money, let's say at least 5,000, you can see that this 5,000 can turn into a decent amount of returns over a period of time. There was one more company specifically to talk about called Voltem Transformers, and probably we have presented it around 1,000, and we have presented it 3 times. Okay, 3 times, and we forgot to add the screenshot. There was 5 shares in this person's portfolio, 5 shares. So if you check the returns from 5,000, right now this company is trading at 11,000 rupees. So that is like almost 11x returns. And that is from 2018, 19 and 20. So if you calculate from 2018, it can be like 5 years. From 19, it's 4 years, and it's from 3 years from 2020. So the whole point is that you need to invest in the market for at least 3 years to see any meaningful returns. And people these days are checking their portfolio every now and then, every 2 days, and they are like, why is my portfolio not performing? And this is the reason why your portfolio is not performing. You don't need to have at least 10 crores or 20 crores in the market to earn a lot of money. Just check this company, Voltem Transformers. Just you invested 5,000 rupees, and that 5,000 has turned into 55,000 rupees. So the important point, coming to important point, now people ask is when to sell the stock. The question is, why you want to sell the stock? Your company every year is delivering 15 to 20% returns. So why do you actually want to sell the stock? Now, this is the question we often don't understand. If you check any of these companies, we have not sold any of the companies. Like this person has not sold shares in any of the companies. Even if you check the Raymond was presented around 389 rupees. Right now it is trading around 24 or 2500 rupees. Don't remember the exact price. But we have not sold any shares, because when the company itself is giving 15 to 20% return, why do you need to sell the stock? No one is that expert that you can see the growth of this company slowing down so that you should be jumping ships to another company or something like that. Please, no one is that expert. No one. So if you are someone who think that you are expert in that kind, then will definitely please guide even us, that you can guide us that when should we sell the stock. Okay, because for us, if the company is earning 15% every year, it's very decent, and we don't want to sell the company if the company is able to generate 15% returns. And to be honest, there are companies that have failed to deliver 15% returns, and we are still holding that company, because sometimes that might be some companies which start performing on a later date. Like nobody knows when the company is going to start performing. So we invest in the companies with a view that we are going to lose at least 15 to 20% of the companies, of the capital that we have invested in those companies, and we are fine with it. And that is why we try to invest very little capital in each company. This is very important thing. If you are investing 5,000, and when 2 of those companies are performing, 2 are not performing, and 2 are performing very badly, you will end up losing only 10,000. What people actually do is they invest like 50,000 in one company, and then 5 lakh in another company, and 5,000 in the good company, or maybe say any company. And at the end, they see that, hey, while the company they have invested 5 lakh rupees is not performing. So the core idea here is to spread your investment evenly across a lot of companies, because we are small investors, we are not experts, so we cannot take over exposure to any company in particular. However, if you feel that some company is extremely good, or your conviction is very high, for example, our conviction is very strong on a personal level. We have invested very highly on AB, FRL, Grasim, and Aditya Birla Capital. Okay, because we are very bullish on the Kumar Mangalam Birla group of companies especially. So this is the company where we have taken large exposure. So it is up to you. Whichever company you want, you can take the large exposure. Whichever one you want, you can take the slow exposure. One more thing that we try to highlight is that when you get 30 or 35% of gains, mostly that is what we do. So for example, if you check the Raymond company, what we did is that when the company started hitting 1,200, 1,400, we sold 30% of our investment. So for example, if we are invest 100 shares, we just sold 35 shares or 30 shares when the company hit 1,400, because that is where when we feel that now the growth might be slowing down, and we were wrong. But the key thing here is that we got our money back, we got our capital back, and we also got some of the part of our profit back. Now we don't check the remaining profit for at least next 3 or 5 years. Okay, so you should also follow this kind of strategy. When you feel that the growth might be slowing down, you just need try to get 30 or 40% of your investment back along with some profit, and just keep the profit forever. You don't need to check that company, you don't need to visit that company ever again. Okay, so this is the very important aspect you need to keep in mind. So this was all about when to sell the stock. And as you can see that we have explained you pretty well with almost all the live examples, and almost all the topics are covered. So beyond this, if you still have any doubts like what kind of company should you add to portfolio or what you want to do, you can just drop us a mail at support@darkhorsestocks.in. We'll try to explain you in more depth. So please, if you have any questions, please let us know, and please just try to watch this video over and over again if you are not clear with the things, because first of all, having 10 or 20 portfolio is completely against our personal philosophy, because we even don't know which companies are going to perform and which companies are not going to perform. So if we just give you any filter out 5 companies, and what if it does not perform? That is why we are trying to work on the model portfolio, where we can increase our conviction power, we can narrow it down to the companies. But honestly, there is not much success there. So we'll be completely honest with you. So please check this entire PDF. Once again, we'll share this PDF with you. It will be available in the link in the description. You can just check it, and if you have any queries, you can just drop us a message. Okay, so this is very important thing. Doesn't matter you are a free user or a paid user. Even if you are a free user, you are still going to get 10 companies. Okay, and now if you like, for example, recently before a few days, we posted this update on our Darkhorsestocks group or somewhere like that. And then people were starting to question like, hey, do you actually want us to believe that you can deliver this kind of returns? And so it was like very, how do I say, very terrible thing that people are questioning actually, that hey, is it actually possible to earn this kind of returns in the market? Do you think that we are foolish? So we just want to highlight that, to be honest, this is all the companies that we have presented in the group itself. So as you can see that Heidel Glass, TGV Sark, ODC, Sarla Performance Fibers, Wendt, this was the company we were talking about. KNR Constructions has been recommended like 3 times. We have presented it 3 times. Technograph was one of the recent ideas presented probably last year. Ograna is one of the recent one. Likita Infra, Isaac Engineering, Strinix is one of the latest companies like presented just in March, and this is T is missing, so I think it's Transpec Industries. So you can see that people, if you believe it or not, all of these companies are presented in the Darkhorsestocks. Nothing is like we don't filter out good companies for the paid users or the free users or something like that. Transpec is the free idea. It's a recent one. We are actually holding this company in our personal portfolio, and we are still adding this company more. Now, how long will it take to start performing? Even we don't know. Even the management does not know it. So you can check it and you can verify it. Only once you are 100% sure, you should join the Darkhorsestocks. We don't want you to join the Darkhorsestocks abruptly. Okay, if you think that you need some time, you can take 6 months. So we are going to provide one company every month in the free plan, and you can check the company. You can verify our performance for 6 months, or you can stay for longer than that. And only once you are sure, then you should subscribe to Darkhorsestocks. Our goal is not that we want to earn 10,000 or 12,000 rupees from you. Our goal is that 5 years from now, when you look at your portfolio, you should proudly feel that these are the companies that I found while subscribing to Darkhorsestocks. I researched them and I made my own call, and as my decision, I earned this much money. It's not our credit. It is completely credit goes to you because of your effort, your risk-taking abilities, your research. So please keep this in mind. Please do not jump abruptly to Darkhorsestocks. But if you pay for Darkhorsestocks, you will feel the value, because when you just watch it for free, you will not pay the attention. We know that thing for sure. We used to do it for free for 3 or 4 years, and we have seen people, they always question this thing, that is it real? Are you actually guys for real? Are you guys providing this kind of company? Why are you trying to fake it? And one of the reason is that they are the free users, because in our experience, we have been doing this from 8 years, and the people who are paying have never questioned our abilities, because they know the value of what we are providing. So please keep this in mind. Please take your time. Please watch our performance, pay attention to all the Darkhorsestocks updates, and only when you are 100% sure, you should go for paid subscription. If you are not sure, you should not go for paid subscription at all. So please keep this in mind. Okay, so that was all for today's session. We'll try to upload a session in the Hindi as well. So if you are not comfortable in English, you can just watch the Hindi session. As for the speed, like there is the option in YouTube. So if you feel the speed of this session is very fast, you can lower it down to 0.75x or something on your own, and you can try to watch it. Okay, so that was all for this session. And if you have any questions or queries, feel free to drop us a message. Okay, see you soon.